welcome to Becoming the Community CEO. I'm your host, Roberto Candelaria. And over the past several years, I've partnered with leaders around the world to build highly engaged and profitable communities. Through this journey, I also discovered the characteristics that these communities had in common, and today, I'm here to share them with you. Together, we'll explore conversations around community building, partnerships, leadership, and profits. These are the core areas to becoming the community CEO. And now, let's jump into this week's episode. Hey y'all, Roberto here, and you know what? Coaches need coaches. I mean, we've all heard that before, right? We as coaches want people to coach with us, but I find that so many coaches, so many leaders do not find their own personal development and continue their growth in that way. Now, this past weekend, I had the opportunity to attend the Life Coach School Mastermind event for their certified coaches. I was invited by a friend who is the founder of the Life Coach School, Brooke Castillo, to be able to attend the event. And listen, y'all, my brain, my world, my life was absolutely rocked. And so in today's episode, I'm going to share 5 things that I was able to learn this past weekend at the Life Coach School Mastermind from other coaches on the stage, from conversations. And I hope that you will grab your pen, grab your paper, and listen to see how these could benefit you, your life as a coach and a consultant as well. Well, all right, y'all. So it was such an amazing weekend. The Life Coach School Mastermind was hosted here in Austin, where Warren and I live, and was hosted at the JW Marriott Hotel by the Life Coach School and their founder, Brooke Castillo. Now, listen, if you don't know about the Life Coach School and you are a coach, you are thinking about being a life coach, I want to invite you to go check out the Life Coach School and check out all the amazing things they're doing and see if it is a fit for you. Now, so today I'm going to share 5 things. I want to invite you to write them down and see what you can find for yourself out of my insights that I got. So, other quick side note, y'all, these are not in any specific order. They are things that I was like going through my journals and finding the things that I highlighted, and these like really stood out to me. So the first one here is from a coach by the name of Judith Gatan. Now, listen, oh my gosh, this it was like she was speaking just at me and with me, and that she read my email earlier this year. So what she said was this that really hit me. And she said, find someone to hold you accountable to what you say you want. Find someone to hold you accountable to what you say you want. And earlier this year, if you're on our mailing list, you saw that I sent out an email. It was like, hey, my goal is to put out a podcast every week, that we're going to do a virtual event in Q1, that we're going to send out an email every week and get back to regular emailing. And I put out what my intentions were. And I said, like, hey, why am I doing this? I'm doing this to be accountable to this. And will I hit every single thing? I sure hope so. Will I fail? Probably. But I want y'all to know where I am at. And so we've done an amazing job with this. We've gotten a podcast episode out every week. We held a live virtual event with sponsorship for influencers. Now, the area of growth that's been, an opportunity for me is getting back into the consistency of emailing every week. And if you're actually listening to this podcast, it's part of it may be because you actually clicked the email that told you that I did it. So hallelujah, I sent out an email. The next one was from Corinne Crabtree. Now, y'all, Corinne is a 8-figure earner as a life coach, and she really helps women and men be able to lose weight. But y'all, this one snippet, oh my gosh, it done hit me. And it was this: is it worth more time trying to decide than it is to just test a decision? And this hit me because while I do have an extreme bias for action, there are times where I want to sit and I want to be in my feelings. I want to be in my emotions. I want to write things down, and I want to map out every single possibility and say, well, is this going to work this way? Is this going to be that way? But what if we did it this month or this day? And I mean, she hit me. She was just like, look, like you can keep trying to decide what to do, or you can just go out and take an action, take a decision, test it, and let the feedback tell you what to do. And that was, as simple as it sounds, so huge for me and a reconfirmation for me to get back to the basics and things, right? Because as we continue to grow, sometimes we can be like, man, well, is it going to affect my income? Is it going to affect our closing ratio? We already know that this works. Do we really want to try this? And it really gave me the opportunity to remind myself that, Roberto, it's okay just to go out there, take an action, and just fail. Like if you fail, you fail. Like you learn something from it and fail forward. The next lesson was from Coach Bev Aaron. And this one was an insight, not so much for me specifically where I am today, but it reminded me of why it took me so long, so many years ago, to be able to hit our first six figures, then hit my first 250,000 and beyond, and to grow the email list, to get our first sponsorships, right? And this lesson was a mirror, I'll say. It was a reflection of, Roberto, man, we've come so far and there is so far to go. And it was this. She said, stop using coaching to stall your business. And I know that as a listener, there's probably some of y'all that are like, you are using coaching as the opportunity to stall your business, therapy as the opportunity to stall your business. And then she continued to say, when we ping pong, there is no space for creativity. And again, just like mind blowing to me. The next one came from Coach Rachel Hart. And y'all, last week, episode 19 of the show, I did a podcast on 11 things that I would tell my 16-year-old self. And it was so interesting because one of the things that Rachel asked was, how would you speak to your younger self, right? And I was thinking about the things that I would tell my younger self, but she took it to a different perspective, right? I was remembering the things that I would tell myself in terms of hey, people are going to talk about you no matter what, just go take action. But she took that a layer deeper and was no, the things that we tell ourselves, the head trash we have, the conversations we have in our head of oh my God, you're not smart. Oh my God, that was stupid. Why did you do that? You should have known not to do that. Would we actually talk to our younger selves that way? Or would we speak to them in a way that would make them smile and make them laugh and encourage them to dream and believe? And she suggested that we grab 3 photos of ourselves, of our younger selves. I would say probably, somewhere between 5 and 9 years old. I don't remember the age that she said. And hang them up wherever you work, around your desk, around your computer, to be able to actually look at them. And every time that negative self-talk comes into your head, to look at those pictures of your younger self and just ask yourself, would I speak to him? Would I speak to her that way? And again, something so simple, but so profound. Now, y'all, Brig Johnson, not only was she fabulous, had amazing energy, amazing outfit, but listen, she said something that reminded me so much of conversations that I've had with clients and conversations that I've had with my own therapist. And what she said is this. She said, accept where you are. Knowing where you are is telling yourself where you aren't. And one of the things that I've shared with our Propel Mastermind and some of our clients is that, one of the biggest things that people, that coaches, that consultants and entrepreneurs are afraid to do is they're afraid to be seen as playing small, as starting over. They're afraid to be seen where they truly are, but because they're afraid to be seen where they are, that people cannot help them get to where they want to be because the coaching, the counsel they give is not accurate because they don't know where the person is actually at, right? And not just other people, but according to what Briggs said, right? Accept where you are. Knowing where you are is telling yourself where you aren't, that we cannot self-coach ourselves into the next place in the journey if we're not truly just truthful with ourselves about where we're at. Now, I know I said 5, but I got to do one more. And this one happened on day one of Life Coach School Mastermind, and it was from the founder of the Life Coach School, Brooke Castillo. Warren and I have had the opportunity to know Brooke for several months now, to get to hang out with her, have dinner with her. And I am always inspired by Brooke. I am always challenged by Brooke. And sometimes the questions that she asks me and the facial expressions that come along with the question, I'm just like, oh my God. But what I do know is that she cares, and that Brooke has this ability to not only show me, but to show other people what is possible, and to be a living, breathing example of what is possible. And so this is the quote from Brooke that stuck out to me this week. And it was this: I am not attached to this being the best version of myself. I'm not attached to this being the best version of myself. And that hit me so hard, because y'all know earlier this year, I sent out that email about hey, I'm back. And what does being back mean? What does being back to serve after coming out of depression and COVID and the death of my father? What does it mean when I say I'm back? And so that one really hit me, because as we launch new products and services and business and new coaching packages, some of y'all know I haven't coached one-on-one for many years, been doing consulting, but as we look at bringing back one-on-one coaching and group coaching, right, it was just the reminder that I felt at a deep level, at a soul level. I can honestly say that I felt it at a spiritual and a cellular level, that I am not attached to this, where I am today, that this is the absolute best version of what's possible for me, but it is the best version for today, and it is the stepping stone for the best version that is next. And so with that, I'll say this: coaches need coaches, and who's coaching you? Well, howdy, and thanks for listening to another episode of the show. Hey, if you'd love to stay in contact with us, visit robertoteaches.com to connect with me on social media, learn about our Facebook groups and other places that we can connect to help you on your journey to becoming the community CEO. And if you're loving the show, do me a favor. I'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast listening platform.